Can we all agree that Caitlin Clark's WNBA preseason is one for the record books? Ticket prices have entered another dimension as Clark shattered yet another record, of her own no less. And Indiana Fever fans are throwing cash like it's the NBA Finals. Except, it's not. It's preseason. Yet here we are. The moment tickets went live, wallets emptied like it was Black Friday at Amazon. And once again, Caitlin Clark is at the center of a sports moment so surreal, brokers are probably still recovering. In this video, we're breaking down 5 records she just snapped in half before the regular season even had a chance to stretch. Let's be clear. This wasn't some primetime showdown with championship implications. This was a glorified warm-up game, a preseason clash, and yet the hype made it feel like a Game 7. What made it different? Caitlin Clark stepping onto the court, that's what. Meanwhile, Indiana's front office is working like secret agents, plotting a master plan to turn this team into a WNBA empire. And Clark is the crown jewel. It's not strategy. It's a sports coup. Still wondering why this matters? Hang tight. We're about to dissect the exact moment Caitlin Clark turned preseason basketball into a national spectacle and what 5 records she just broke. And if you're already in the CC fan club, go ahead and drop record breaker in the comments. Caitlin Clark, in that, has become arguably the most influential basketball player in the world, both on the men's and the women's side. Let's start with that jaw-dropping stat. $440. That's what fans were shelling out, on average, for a ticket to see Caitlin Clark and the Fever face off against Brazil's national team. A friendly exhibition, but with Clark in the mix it was anything but casual. The venue? Carver Hawkeye Arena. Her personal coliseum where she made history in college. And for the first time ever, a WNBA preseason game was picked up by ESPN, another record set. Because when Clark plays, the world watches. Iowa's Carver Hawkeye Arena is the most in-demand event involving Clark, with an, quote, average paid price of $440 per ticket. And what's even more mind-blowing is that she beat herself. Her previous record for highest ticket average? $411. This was set during her now iconic March 3rd game against Ohio State, where she broke Pete Maravich's all-time college scoring record. That was a monumental moment. But now we're here, breaking those numbers during a preseason game. Some people go viral once. Clark does it the moment she sneezes. Prices ranged from 146 nosebleeds to a high rollers 6,000 courtside. Oh, and guess what? The arena sold out in 15 minutes. That's not a crowd. That's a movement. And let's not forget, this isn't her WNBA debut. It's year 2. Most players see a drop in buzz after their rookie year. But Clark, her stardom has evolved into a gravitational force. She's not peaking. She's compounding. What we're witnessing isn't temporary. It's a tectonic shift in who holds the power and excitement in this league. Ain't nobody paying $8,100 to watch Angel Reese play ball, especially when there was a ticket available for $29. $29 to see Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky play at LSU. Returning to Iowa wasn't just sentimental, it was seismic. National outlets, including the Associated Press, confirmed this was the highest average ticket price ever recorded for a basketball game, across any level. Men's, women's, college. Clark is in her own lane now. And the scary part, she's only getting better. The preseason hasn't even started, and she's already warping the league's economy. Let's dive into the receipts. Since Clark arrived in Indiana, the team's ticket prices have gone through a transformation that would make Wall Street weep. For road games this season, the average jumped to $272, up from $171 during her rookie season. That's a 59% leap. In the real world, that kind of spike gets regulators involved. At home, it's even more bananas. From $92 to $197, more than double. That's not a bump. That's a boom. Clark is no longer just the most influential player on the court. She might be the most financially essential athlete in pro basketball today. But this transformation isn't accidental. The Indiana Fever didn't just sign Clark and throw her to the wolves. They built around her. Think of it as constructing the perfect laboratory for basketball innovation. With Clark as the mad scientist, this isn't about potential anymore. It's about domination. Enters Sophie Cunningham. She's not just a savvy vet, she's basketball royalty herself, and her decision to join the Fever was a public vote of confidence in Clark's superstardom. She didn't just praise her, she compared her to a young Diana Taurasi. Yes, that Taurasi. The one with rings, medals, and a legacy carved in granite. Cunningham said Clark's ball distribution and floor IQ mirror Diana Taurasi at her peak, but spicier, flashier, and somehow even more dangerous. They stacked more firepower with Brianna Turner, Natasha Howard, and filled out the roster with Aaliyah Boston, Lexi Hull, and Kelsey Mitchell. This isn't a roster, this is a rebellion, a counterattack against the league's long-standing powerhouses. Indiana just skipped the rebuild phase. They're in contention mode now. Everything is just absolutely new. It feels really good. It feels fresh. It's kind of like when you take your clothes off the dryer and kind of like fresh. It just feels different and it feels good because we have new leadership, we have new players, we have vet leadership, and so I think all of that combined to smidge further added to it. It feels good. How does that help you guys elevate even more for the players who are returning? It makes it easier. I remember this time last year, it didn't show good, so we had to get that in order first in order for people to start playing well. It's like the domino thing. But I think once your culture is kind of established, you guys see it now, I think it makes everything else way easier. And the sports books agree. On DraftKings, the Fever sit fourth in title odds at plus 380. FanDuel, even bolder, they have Indiana tied for second at plus 350. This is no Cinderella run. This is the front door getting kicked open by a team that knows it belongs at the table. Oh, and did we mention merch? Clark's jersey was the best seller in the WNBA last year, and it's not slowing down. Analysts predict she's on track to claim the second best-selling jersey in WNBA history before her second season ends. The Fever are also seeing a merch explosion. From hats to posters to bobbleheads, everything with Clark's name is a hot commodity. She's not just a player, she's a walking stimulus package, and every time she visits an opposing arena, it becomes a fundraiser for the opposite team. Let's rewind. The Fever won just 20 games last season and bowed out early. A decent run, but nothing groundbreaking. Now, they're being talked about like title contenders. And that shift didn't come from a coaching tweak or a trade. It came from Caitlin. She's turned Indiana into the WNBA's must-watch franchise. Every game's a sellout. Every arena feels like home turf. And every stat line, more evidence that we're watching the sport's next generational cornerstone. This is more than just basketball. It's a cultural moment. A reset button. Caitlin Clark isn't fitting into the league's old mold. She's melting it down and casting something entirely new. Whether it's breaking attendance records or drawing ESPN cameras to preseason games, she's redefining what it means to be the face of a league. The Indiana Fever front office didn't just draft Caitlin Clark and call it a day. They went full savage mode with it. This isn't just a roster move, it's a franchise reboot. And they're not playing coy. With one of the boldest marketing campaigns the WNBA has ever seen, Indiana is making it crystal clear. They're not asking for attention, they're demanding it. The campaign, now you know. And let's be honest, if you don't know by now, you're either willfully ignoring reality or still using dial-up. This isn't just a slogan, it's a declaration. The Fever have leveled up, and they're sending smoke signals from the top of the mountain. It kicked off with a trailer so slick, it could have doubled as a Nike commercial. Fast cuts, fierce narration, and a message that didn't whisper, it roared, "We're not here to chase greatness, we're here to claim it." Subtle, not even slightly. This wasn't just a feel-good fan video. It was a verbal smackdown aimed straight at the critics, skeptics, and every salty hater who downplayed what Clark and the Fever did last year. It was a visual flex, and it landed like a mic drop in Madison Square Garden. The trailer didn't just hype the fans, it warned everyone else. The Fever are no longer the undercard. They are the main event. The entire Now You Know campaign is built around one undeniable truth. Caitlin Clark has turned every basketball game into a traveling Indiana Fever takeover. Home games, road games, middle-of-nowhere matchups, it doesn't matter. Clark fans show up like it's a Taylor Swift stadium tour. The trailer leans into that reality with a line that's equal parts swagger and statistical fact. Our road games sound like home games because our fans don't ask for permission to dominate. And if you've seen the scenes from last season, you know it's true. Opposing arenas weren't just packed. They were invaded by Clark Nation. Now what I also think is hilarious is that they took that a step further. So if you go to the team store, the Indiana Fever's team store, you will see that they have a brand new t-shirt that they are selling. And that t-shirt says, every game is a home game. And then on the back, it says, now you know, with a sold out banner with all of their basically schedule. It's like a tour t-shirt and it says every game is a home game. The road dominance isn't hype. It's measurable chaos. Opposing teams literally had to call in backup, moving games to larger venues just to handle the surge of fans desperate to catch a glimpse of Caitlin. Entire city economies were probably impacted. Hotels booked up, parking lots overflowed, scalpers wept with joy. It was like the Beatles touring in sneakers and headbands. And guess what? Year 2 is doubling down on that mania. The fever hasn't broken. It's spreading. And then here we have today, basically clapping back at all of that and proving that they know that they are the moment, they are the Showtime team, they are the biggest team currently in the WNBA. This kind of stuff is not only good for the Indiana Fever, it's good for the entire WNBA. And Indiana's not just riding the wave, they're branding it. The team dropped a fresh batch of merchandise tied to the campaign, and it's flying off shelves like hotcakes at a pancake convention. One standout, a tour-style red t-shirt boldly printed with, "Every game is a home game." It's not just merch, it's a movement. That shirt might as well come with a map of all the opposing arenas that have been taken over by the Clark cult. The trailer visuals are no less iconic. One standout moment shows Caitlin Clark sitting in a movie theater, casually surrounded by a wall of fired-up Fever fans. The camera zooms in on a shirt front and center that reads, "They not like us." And that's not just a vibe, that's a reality. That one shot encapsulated the whole campaign. Cool, confident, unbothered, and louder than the critics ever were. It's a warning label. The Fever aren't just a team anymore, they're a lifestyle brand with a highlight reel. But here's the twist. This campaign isn't just good for Indiana. It's good for the entire WNBA. Because when the Fever raise the stakes, everyone else levels up. Suddenly matchups that used to get buried are now headline events. Teams like the Aces and Liberty aren't just opponents. They're co-stars in what feels like a Hollywood rivalry plot. The storylines are electric, the energy is contagious, and the fans, they're showing up in record numbers to see how it all plays out. That's not just marketing, that's momentum. And the league? Oh, they've taken notice. They've moved quickly to capitalize on Clark's stardom. This year, a staggering 41 of the Fever's 44 games will be nationally televised. That's right. 93% of Indiana's games are going prime time. Even the Lakers only had 39 games on national TV. It's another record, and it cements what we already knew. Caitlin Clark isn't just changing how we watch the WNBA. She's changing who watches it. Now compare that to last year. The Fever were practically forced to run a gauntlet. 11 games in just 20 days, split between grueling road stretches and draining back-to-backs. It was a setup that could break even the toughest teams. But this year, it's a different story. In 2025, they'll play those same 11 games over 32 days. More home games, no back-to-backs, and a lot more room to breathe. That's not a coincidence. That's the league acknowledging its biggest draw and adjusting accordingly. Meanwhile, the WNBA itself is shifting gears. Gone are the cautious promos and the watered-down narratives. The league is leaning hard into what fans actually want. Drama, stars, rivalries, and unapologetic swagger. The latest league-wide commercial says it all. The future is now. Featured faces. Caitlin Clark, of course, along with MVP Asia Wilson, top pick Paige Beckers, crowd favorite Sabrina Ionescu, and defensive queen Nafisa Collier. Oh, and Angel Reese in her usual "don't forget about me" fashion. It's a lineup built to sell tickets and spark debates, but while the league promotes parity, Indiana's not interested in blending in. Their new slogan says it best. We're not here for the moment. We're here for the takeover. And they mean it. The sold-out arenas, the surging merch, the massive national spotlight, it's all proof. The takeover isn't coming. It's already happening. And Caitlin Clark is the point guard of the movement. She's not just rewriting the record books, She's redrawing the league's entire playbook. Preseason games are now appointment viewing and being televised. Ticket prices have hit concert tour levels in price and sold out in minutes. Road games feel like home court. And fever games are now the centerpiece of national TV schedules. It's like watching the rise of a dynasty in real time, and we're all lucky enough to have front row seats. Whether you're tuning in for the drama, the brilliance, or just to be part of history, one thing is clear. This is bigger than basketball. It's a cultural reset, powered by a once-in-a-generation talent and a franchise that's finally acting like it. The Indiana Fever are not playing it safe. They're playing to win, and they're doing it with style. So if you're rocking with Caitlin Clark and the most electric team in the WNBA, type record breaker in the comments.